everyone. So today I'll be reviewing the whole series. I just finished watching The Fall of the Usher Family. This series, it is currently on Netflix and it is supposed to be a horror show, but actual show is not that scary or anything like that. But this show centers around Roderick Usher and Madeline Usher. Oh, before I forget, this review will be a full spoiler because I will be going through about the whole plot line and everything. So Mike Flanagan's last couple of series I didn't like. But this series, honestly, I really enjoyed watching it. This series is quite engaging. Once you start watching the first episode, you can't stop watching because you want to know how everything ends. So that being said, this show does have a lot of all these kinky scenes, all this gay stuff, which will turn off some people. Why all the characters in this series are gay? I don't get it. It's really, I was thinking, a lot of comments are online. Why all these characters are gay? Yeah, you have to ask end of it. Anyway, that being said, overall, how all his kids, including his grandkids, are dead end of this series, I was like, this is really sad and like, whoa, so tragic. But end of the day, I guess Roderick Usher and Madeline Usher, they did made this deal with the devils. They will lose their bloodline. Although Madeline Usher, she didn't have any kids. So, although the show centers supposed to be centering around both of the siblings, unfortunately, we don't know much about Madeline Usher because her character doesn't get a lot of, you don't know much about her except she's so ambitious and she is not married or anything like that. Sometimes her dialogues are very woke. Some of the dialogue in this series is really woke. It will turn off some people. Really, when I say, I really mean it. Some of the characters are the way they say dialogues are quite more than woke. But overall, still the series is like, what is heart of it is good. I think end of it, you do feel like, doing good still is important, Although sometimes we see in real life, people do bad thing and they become successful. Like there's no accountability. But this series takes its time and does make all this character pay for their sin. Some of this character, especially the devil, Carla Gugino, before she killed them, she give them all this like life lesson, all these things she says to them. I found them sometimes quite interesting. Before she kills them, she says, your killing could have been different. You could have just died in your bed, but you had to do this. You have to check out on the chimpanzee, and now you are dying very brutal way. Some of this kill in this show is quite brutal. It's really brutal. I was like, whoa. This is really heartless killing. Then again, their father made this deal with the devil, and it looks like Roderick Usher. Although I really like this Roderick Usher's, his character, especially the older person. What was his name? This actor, he was so good, especially the attorney, the district attorney. That actor was so good. Both of them had such a great chemistry online. On screen, I really enjoyed all the back and forth between them. There were some creepy jump scare in this series. It was genuinely very disturbing. Once again, the show itself is not that scary or horror or anything like that, but I think overall the show is still I found it quite fascinating. Although this series, I want to say, it's too much dialogue heavy series. Like they talk a lot. Some of these talks are really unnecessary. This show's editing is like really bad. Some of this dialogue or the scene, he could have cut them out. Mike Flanagan, he didn't because he wanted to be woke. He trying to please all his probably fan base he has. He trying to please them. Some of this dialogue, I was like, that didn't make any sense, if I'm being honest here. Although I gave really bad review to the Midnight Mass. That was really, I did not like end of it, all about vampire. But this one, however, I found it quite fascinating. And honestly, end of this series, I felt like I learned something about life. Doing good is important, and doing bad, like often we think, we do all this bad thing, we'll get away with that. That is wrong thinking, I think. And that is what the lesson for this is, I think. Or maybe I'm overthinking it. Because the one scene the devil did tell Roderick Usher, that you killed all these people. Like, your kill count is more than anything. Then again, I think many people will find this series to be boring because there's so many pharmaceutical centric show out there. I feel like some people will find all this pill talk, addicting talk, a little bit like overdone at this point, because there is a dope sick. There recently another series came out. But still, I feel like people who enjoy horror, and Mike Flanagan, I think he wanted to make this, like, I thought it was quite interesting and important overall. I thought I quite like this. Although I do acknowledge it is really slow, boring, and talking too much. Editing is not that good. But still, overall, the show, what is it, centers around the idea? It's good. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this series? If you enjoyed about this review, don't forget my other reviews on other series. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.